Glitch City, 2070X AD. A city that shouldn't exist, a tax haven where corporations and criminal empires reign supreme. In this place, all human life has been infected with nanomachines to keep them in check. Over them stand the White Knights who ensure that a corrupt government's laws are obeyed. Here, brutality in all its forms is an everyday reality. The quality of life for the non-powerful decreases at an alarming rate. For many, this can be overwhelming. Some devote themselves to their jobs, their families, or even their studies. Some look for ways to escape this place, and others just give up. But for many of them, the answer lies at the bottom of a glass. On a small road just seconds away from the main street, somewhere near the slums, you can find the Hall A of the BTC certified bar-coded Va-11. But that's a mouthful, so we just call it Valhalla. A small oasis in the middle of the concrete desert, a fountain of spirits waiting for tired souls. And it's here where this story unfolds. Alrighty guys, welcome back to another episode of Daily Valhalla. It is day 21. That means it's been 3 weeks since we started this. Can you guys believe it? It's crazy they've been going for so long. We're actually at the tail end of the game here. We don't have much more to play. But I think it's nice we get 3 weeks of content out of this and just having a nice 3-week experience, honestly. It's going to be good. So, I have a plan for today, and it involves us doing this in 2 parts kind of thing. So, as far as I remember, according to our guide, there is no way to get this achievement, to get a secret guest with a full perfection. So we are going to follow this guide in 2 parts. We're going to do the correct version first. I'm going to save at day 18, and then I'm going to reload and re-show you guys what it's like to experience a secret guest, okay? I think that's what we're going to do today, and hopefully that goes well. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. Yeah, it says save your game before seeing Stella. Okay, so she's in the... Is she on the break or after the break? She might be after the break. I'm not sure, we'll see. It usually is like 2 guests before the break and then 2 guests after, or 2 or 3 guests after, so it should be fine. We should be good. Anyways, rent is due on the 30th. Please make sure your account has a necessary $10,000 or you'll be evicted. Jill bought what she wanted and she's pleased with herself. She will surely focus at work today. Have a very nice day. Click to dismiss this message. And we got the Kira Mickey poster back there. Forrest says, you've been talking a lot with that Alma girl. Jill says, jealous? I don't know, do you want pets as opposed to me hanging out with Alma? Alrighty, BTC closing 40% of its bars in Glitch City is our first news story of the day by Lana Smithy. The British Trademark Council is facing some economic troubles in Glitch City, and it looks like they're on their way out. Blaming rising inflation rates and a weak currency, the BTC has given the order to disband almost half of its recreational businesses in the city. We can't keep doing business like this. Glitch City has a negative impact on our earnings, and we can't continue in the red, a PR representative told the Augmented Eye. Prime Minister Quincy, on the other hand, thinks the BTC is just too greedy. They make a lot of money already, and now they're crying because they can't have more? Give me a break. And Jill says, oh yeah, this. Late to the party, Augmented Eye. As always. Wearing socks with sandals in public is now a crime, by Lana Smithy. I like to say we have the freedom to wear whatever we like in the streets of Glitch City so long as we adhere to decency rules. However, that's about to change. Glitch City's Department of Public Decency has declared that wearing socks and sandals together is a punishable crime. If convicted, the guilty face 3 days in jail as punishment for using that abominable combo. But what do you think? Should we wear whatever we want? Or should the fashion police of high society decide for you? Whatever the case, I think I'll simply stick to the right side of the battle. Goodbye, socks and sandals. Jill says, gods be praised. First silly law I'm all in for. Birth rates decrease as the youth prefers Lilum Company. By Lana Smithy? Wow, I really messed that one up too. By Lana Smithy. At the beginning of the century, the idea that people would rather be with robots instead of other humans was treated as a joke, but the reality is that the convenience of these kinds of relationships have become immensely popular among Glitch City's youth, to the point where birth rates are beginning to decrease at an alarming rate. Annie Mae, a 17-year-old student, agrees with the general sentiment. It's just so much better than dealing with other people, you know? You can just make your own perfect partner. Oh, and sex is amazing. Laughs. Don't even get me started. It's expected that new regulations will soon to be announced to address the situation. A little bit of grammar there. Jill says, being only with Lilum can be tiring, though. It's true. Sometimes human companionship might be nice. You never know. But with that out of the way, chat, let's go to work. Thursday, December 29th. God, it's December 29th? Holy crap, that's crazy. Good evening, says Jill. Hey, this is Gillian. Okay, so we've got almost everything, but we're still missing a couple of things for Saturday, says Dana. And so I designate you, Gillian Applegate, as official guy who goes to buy the rest of the stuff. Applegate? I have no idea who that is. Why me? I could send Jill, but I wouldn't dare send a lady by herself. And I could go with her, but I believe the bar should have at least 2 people in the vicinity at all times. You're not gonna say anything, Jill. If it means not being delivery girl, I'm happy to fake helplessness, says Jill. Fine, give me that list. I'll be back sometime, says Gil. Something tells me you're planning something, boss, says Jill. What gives you that impression, says Dana. Call it a gut feeling. Did you know Gil is a crush, says Dana. What? says Jill. A client of his, a girl that owns a bazaar. She's been coming on to him for ages, and he's only just started opening up. But he's taking steps backwards, and I'm not gonna let him. He's opening up, for fuck's sake. And so the errands will take him to the bazaar, I take it? Asks Jill. That's right. Huh. Alright then, to the office I go, says Dana. As for me, let's start up our day. You know what, chat? I normally would diversify, but these days I'm just having a good time listening to the classics, so we're gonna do that. Alrighty guys, without any further ado, time to mix drinks and change lives. Gil with a crush. This place. Great! Oh, if it isn't. Hey Jill, sorry, but is there anywhere I can hide? There's an unpleasant guy on my trail. Boss, stalked woman incoming. The door is open. Go ahead, the door to the left, says Jill. Thanks, says Karaminky. Hello there. Oh, hi there. The other one, that's the bathroom. Wait, what's the dog doing in the bathroom, thinks Jill. Now, where did she? Ah, the hellhole. Perfect. Hey, kid, I'll have the usual. All right. Huh, you remember me after 2 weeks? Mr. Donovan's usual drink, huh? Big-ass motherfucking beer. All right, this should be $400, right? $450. Did I get a tip off of that? Huh. I think I got a tip from him. Nice. Here. This seems right. Paper's been a mess lately, says Mr. Donovan. You'd think with all this you think that with all that's happening, they'd stay and do more reports. But they're all asking for vacations, and I can't afford to be understaffed. So I had to come up with some sort of reward for whoever produces the most reports. I see no difference in my feed, though. Mr. Donovan, I don't mean to sound rude, but you do know the infamy of the augmented eye with the general public, right? Shitty page that will over-essentialize anything and report useless things. Of course I know. Then why not try to rectify that image? To put it simply, I'm being clutched by the balls in the non-pleasant way. Zaibatsu Corp and company have an eye on every publication that they haven't bought yet. Report on them once and they'll find something to fine you with. Twice and you'll find your resources severely cut. Anything beyond that, in the best case scenario, is that they'll buy the damn operation to keep it quiet. I know there are more newsworthy things than whatever is the lackeys picked out that week, but if I overstep my ass is on the line. Glad to see this hellhole is still in one piece. The BTC has been going apeshit closing bars lately. Oh yeah, that. Yesterday they closed one that served as a key part of a drug trafficking ring. And last week they closed 3 small bars that served as illegal chicken restaurants. I nearly said something horrifying, but I'm glad I rectified my English there. Holy crap. Huh. Not to mention there are like 100 people who have BTC certificates but never use them. Instead, they keep those credentials around to stop police from raiding their homes or warehouses. I don't know about you, but it's obvious to me that some restructuring will begin to the BTC after this whole thing. Man, shit ran deeper than I thought, says Joe. And no news outlet talks about that. Alright, kid, let's try Moonblast now. Come again? Says Joe. Hey, even I have to break a routine from time to time. A Moonblast? That's new for him, thinks Joe. Alright guys, let's give him a moon blast. The good thing is I can make this double. All the rocks and blended. So this one is 180. And I should get 360 for it, if not more, if I get tipped. Let's see. Here. I forgot to check. I think I got the normal amount. I think it'd be over, like in the hundreds if I got the right amount. I can never remember. Anyways, now let's see what the ruckus is about. So what brought you here today? All right, didn't you see Aluminum coming in here? Blue hair, big tits. She's the one from the Encore concert coming up. Not really, no. Did she jump to the roof then? Why were you looking for her? Did you want an interview? Not really, just hitting on her. Jesus Christ. Hey, I said hitting on her, not hitting her. Stop glaring. Why, though? Are you that bored? Don't you have, like, a family or something? Have you seen that girl? I'm suffering the weirdest combo of being incredibly excited and curious as shit right now. I don't like reading Donovan's, like, crass nature very much. But I gotta, like, at least interpret it somehow. And so you followed her, says Jill. I've yet to meet a woman that can't resist the charms, or that can resist the charms of Donovan D. Dawson. You're in front of one, and I'm guessing you have quite the selective memory, says Jill, in her mind brain. Like I said, don't you have a family or something, says Jill. Oh, wife, that woman cheats on me as much as I cheat on her. In fact, I'm pretty convinced she gets off on the thought of me cheating on her. Cut, queen. So, that Aluminum isn't here, huh? I'll have to find a busty enough replacement tonight or I'll explode. Poor Mr. Donovan. Who cares? Hey, after you're done glaring, please serve me a pile driver. Right. Yeah, let's just give him a pile driver, literally. Let's slam him into the table. What a piece of shit sometimes. He's like, it's a shame he's got interesting stories, but he's just like, he is a piece of shit. But like, that's kind of like how humans are, right? Some of us just are a piece of shits, and some of us are interesting. And sometimes that combines in horrible, like, terrible ways. All right, let's switch to I'd buy that for $1. Here. All right. Well, seeing as she's not here, I have no reason to stay. Maybe I'll find someone that looks a bit like her. See you later, Donovan. The guy left. Oh, all right. Thanks for sheltering me, Dana. Dana, hope your sister likes the video. No, thank you. Seems you had a hearty talk. Your boss is such a fun person. Her sister's a fan of mine, so I recorded a small video for her and took a couple of photos. How nice of you. It's nothing, really. And she did hide me, so it's the least I could do. But while we're here already, mind giving me something sweet? Sure. This idol wants something sweet. Let's go... Let's do a blue fairy. Why not? All aged and mixed. $170 means... That's 340, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. So we should be like in the 600 range that doubles it. No, it's just 270. Okay, figured as much. Here. Thanks. So, do you know why Donovan was following you? I don't, but I wasn't in the mood to deal with him. His questions were a bit over the line last time, too. Not the worst I've dealt with, but I just didn't want to humor him. I see. It seems like he was just trying to come on to you. You don't say. Well, not like he'd have a chance anyways. I'm not into older guys, and I'm already committed to a relationship. Figure. Wait, you are? It's not common knowledge, and the ones that hear it try to dismiss it as rumors, but I've been in a relationship with my producer for a while now. Really? Says Joe. You're both single, and that kind of stuff is bound to happen when you spend so much time together. But it all started when he read an entry I made in my blog about wanting to experience love and the like. He offered to help with that after you read it, and I thought, sure, why not? Like the sim producer, I respect it. Man, shot his shot. It's a little weird because like you're coming onto your talent, but it actually works out in their case, weirdly enough. I already knew I already knew him well enough. It wouldn't hurt to try, says Kira. How nice. He's a stick in the mud where planning is due, but he's a sweetheart otherwise. I see. You know, I met 2 fans of yours lately. Really? Both of them seemed so excited when they were talking about you. It was amazing. I don't like the term fan too much. It strikes me as a bit pretentious, in my opinion. I have many fans. Doesn't sit so well. I like many people who like my music better. Fan evokes an uglier and more pretentious image for me. Do you like what I do, Jill? Do you like my music? To be honest, I haven't had much exposure to your work, but the few things I've heard are really good. And not gonna lie, having talked to you, I feel like I would support you even if I didn't like it. It's so nice to hear. Hey, this will sound familiar, but do you have anything like tea? Let me see. I do. Mulan tea. Here. Perfect. Hey, you're at King Class CH-1A, right? That I am. May I see something about your model? Sure. Are there any differences between you and a DFC-72? We both serve the same purpose, but DFC-72s have the port on their heads, which makes them more versatile. My line lacks that or the resilience of the DT-01Ds, but we're a tad more polished elsewhere. More specifically, our voice emulators are more advanced and our movements are smoother. A trade-off of functionality and power for appearance, you could say. Oh, I see. So, anything new for this concert? Well, it is an encore, so we're trying to make it the same for those that couldn't go to the first one. But we always try to spice it up, like maybe with a surprise song or something. There was this one time I sang a cover of a song by B-Link. Of course, in return, they sang Your Love is a Drug. Ah. So you know the B-Link girls? Really nice kids. You'd be surprised how different from their on-stage personas they are. Really? Suzu, for example, can be really childish at times. She also laughs a lot, and loudly at that. Meanwhile, Ayana is a party girl, through and through. If they're not on tour, she spends her time partying like crazy. Hard to believe. I mean, their image is that of stoic girls with little expression. Almost like living Victorian dolls or something. Well, they wanted to pop out in the public. They once told me if we want people to notice us, we have to break the cutesy idol concept. And so they took the opposite route, becoming cool beauties with melancholic songs. I wouldn't say they went the opposite way. The opposite of cutesy idols would be unkempt, tone-deaf girls spewing vitriol and hate. True, I guess. Well, I've got to go, but let's have a Sparkle Star first. Alrighty, Sparkle Star from Miss Idol. I almost went to go do a Zen Star, and I was like, uh-oh, I better not do that. Alright, 4 Rattle Hide, 2 Powder Dental, and lots of Karma Tree. Alright, Sparkle Star. Here. Sparkling. Well, it's always a pleasure, Jill. Please come again. Will do. Oh, the handsome bartender. Nice to see you. Boss, Gil's back. I'll take my break. All right. All right, so Stella is our third guest. So I'm going to quickly look over my guide here for a second and yap with y'all. I'm kind of curious to see whether or not I've been able to serve Stella a Flaming Moai in the past. But I don't think I have been able to, because I think the idea is you serve one on the 17th and that's it. So I'll save our break here. Anything sweet? I don't think the Flaming Moai counts as anything but classy. Right out of the box. I don't remember its specific descriptors, but I'm pretty sure it at least classifies as classy, or counts as classy. I'm kind of confused because one of them, one of our requests this time is going to be classic, but I guess that differs from. Oh, it does differ from classy a little bit because there's classic and classy, I believe, 2 entries in the same type. Jill says, note to self: buy oil for that door. Must be a squeaky door. All right then. Gilly, you're in my spot, please. Oh, sorry. Also, you're cleaning one of Boss's chicken buckets. Did Boss ask you to do that? If I told you she did, would you believe me? Without a doubt, says Jill. Let's go with that, then. Right. Greetings, says Stella. Ah, Stella, what can I get you? I'll go with the Bleeding Jane today. Bleeding Jane. All right, let's actually... yeah, classy and classic. Okay. So, yeah, we'll get the order wrong. Alrighty, all blended, 2 Bronson, 3 powder, or 6 powdered, and 6 full energized. Alright, there we go. Thank you. What brought you here today? Waiting for Say? I came by myself, actually. I was in the area and stopped to say hi. Oh, it's pretty interesting, though. When I first saw you, I doubted you'd ever come here again. Well, this place is comfortable, I must admit. So quiet and secluded. It's also clean, really clean. Gil's the one you can know that too. The guy takes pride in how clean he keeps things around here. If you ever need cleaning staff, he's a nice pick. Really? He's a bit out of it today, though, says Jill. I see. Hey, Jill, have you ever heard of the new gold rush in the city? Gold rush? No, I don't think I have. Everyone is paying small fortunes to get their hands on pieces of white knight suits. Oh, this, okay. I think I heard or read something about that, but I'm having doubts, so probably not. In any case, how was it a gold rush? Well, the tech behind the suits was always safely guarded, but after the events of the bank... Sorry. After the events of the bank, the suits were remotely shut down, breaking many of them in the process. Many units dropped their armor right there and fled when the lynchings went on. Any white knights still stuck in their suit had to take the armor off manually to run away. It all happened in the middle of the lynchings, so they'd be sitting ducks if they didn't. Some weren't that lucky. They got beaten up while they weren't able to move. So, between the suits becoming glorified paperweights and many white knights going on the run, there ended up being a lot of junk lying around. But the whole scientific community is rejoicing. They're on a race to reverse engineer the suits and take as much technology as possible from them. And of course, even single pieces of the armor fetch a high price these days. Could anyone see any profit from that research to justify those expenses? It's new tech, a whole new field ripe with patents just open for many, so I'd say yes. I mean, the BTC is literally a conglomerate built upon patents and trademarks. I can see how. There is one weird case, though. There's this guy named Jack. He's the captain of a very unique Blitzkrieg Corps unit. Unique? The guy had a really small unit, 5 people, including himself. The aesthetics of his unit's armor were heavily modded to the point that they looked like a squad of henshin heroes. Hen what? They looked really gaudy. Henshin heroes. I'm gonna look that up really quickly. I think it's a samurai thing, I'm pretty sure. I spelled it wrong in Google. Henshin heroes. Oh, it's like shoot, what's my brain thinking of? Why can't I remember the name all of a sudden? Kamen Rider is what it looks like. I think it might be like a different. So it's actually more of a trope as opposed to an idea, but it reminds me a lot of Kamen Rider specifically. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I guess it makes sense because there's also Ultraman in some of these listings as well. Okay, that does make a lot more sense. Cool. That's really neat, actually. Cool. So like Kamen Rider, Ultraman, that kind of stuff. That's actually really dope. I don't know if you guys could hear that very well because I was talking down from my mic, but yeah, think of like Kamen Rider and Ultraman, and that's kind of what you got. Okay. So Stella says, but it turned out that the guy actually broke the software and disabled the remote switch. He has one of the few, if not the only, suits of armor with the OS intact. To say they're among the most wanted people who would be an understatement. You know a lot about this, says Joe. It's interesting, the amount of things you hear when dealing with drunk people of all kinds in the same place. It also helps to put on a front that makes people lower their guard. That should sound familiar to you. True. Wait. Here's a freebie, a fun fact. The failsafe was originally going to involve the armor blowing up and leaving no traces, but regulations and laws didn't allow that kind of technology near civilians. I guess even Zaibatsu Corp has its limits, huh? People love to demonize Zaibatsu Corp because, let's face it, they're far from innocent. But they're not evil overlords, they're just greedy. They're just a big corporation. They just so happen to have control over what tantamounts to a city-state. You know, I kind of like this this kind of read on corporations, that they have their limits, right? They love to be demonized and stuff because they're far from innocent, of course. And I think you can apply this a lot to modern corporations and stuff. They're not evil overlords, they're just greedy. They're so massive that they have to be greedy kind of thing. And unfortunately, it takes a lot of power to break them up or enforce laws on them to actually reduce that greed. Yeah, they just so happen to have control over what tantamounts to a city-state. That massive amount of control does apply to a lot of corporations too in our own world. Stella says, but corporations will naturally resort to draconian methods. I've heard horror stories from people outside the city about trying to use product placement. If you so much as hold a bottle the wrong way or get in the way of a logo, you'll be in for lots of trouble. Now let's not start with the theme parks, the like, those are dystopias of their own. Then again, most of the demonization is due to Quincy being such a clown. He has no power anyways. He's just the front that whatever counts behind Zaibatsu Corp shows. He makes a fool of himself and the attention is taken away from whatever it is that Zaibatsu Corp is actually doing. Yeah. So what you're saying is that Glitch City is basically a huge theme park? I've called the White Knights glorified mall security in the past, so yeah. No, seriously, hen what? Can I get a Brantini here, please? Sure. Alright, Brantini. Alrighty. Whoops, I immediately messed it up by overstepping the amount of ingredients I need to put in. Here. Thanks. So take it you're in a good mood today? Whoops, wrong button. Does it show? A bit. Yeah, well, I managed to nab a couple of tickets for the Kira Mickey Encore concert. Nice. Oh, right, as it turns out, she was just here. Again? Sorry. Again? Can't believe I just missed her. I was surprised, too. I was more surprised she remembered my name, though. And like last time, she was quite the graceful client. Man, so those rumors about her being really nice in person were actually true? Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you always want the famous people to be nice in real life. But having such backing to that claim to hear that she's so nice to everyone, it's nice to hear, you know? In fact, many think that's what made her so famous so quickly. How she's down to earth and totally accessible, making her someone everyone wants to root for. Ah, I see. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't want to feel like you're supporting crappy people. Although, to be honest, I've never put much thought into that one. Hell, half the time I have no idea who made that, who made what I used, nor do I care much. Being a nice person will take you far, though. My daddy always insisted that being ruthless in the boardroom doesn't mean being an ass. And he has actually managed to get certain contracts over other more powerful people. All thanks to being a nice guy overall. Sounds like good advice. But more importantly, Daddy? Do you really believe me saying she was just here that easily? You're not the kind to lie about stuff like that, so sure, Estelle. Thanks, I guess. That said, can you go to the concert so easily? What about security and the like? My dad always has a unit keeping an eye on me from a distance. And you'd be surprised at how easily I can disguise myself with just a different hairdo and a cap. I see. I wonder if I could get in the disabled line with saying her wounds. Although she'll probably nag me about how she doesn't need it, and we shouldn't abuse that. Hey, can you give me a classic drink? Sure. Alright, so this is the one where we're gonna accidentally fuck it up. I'm gonna make my classic drinks anyways. Beer, Blue Jane, or frothy water. Can I double this and still get an outcome? Does that work? No, because it's already big. Okay. I really wish I didn't have to do it like this. Here. This is classic how? Whatever. I think you should know about this. About what? Say, told me about your eye. That? Oh yeah, I knew. You did? Say told me. I'm alright. Don't worry. Still, that was quite the, I mean, damn. We all have our own share of painful stories. I might be just as shocked hearing something from you. I've gotten over it, but every time someone brings attention to my eye, it starts hurting. The tech in the replacement is good enough, but remembering it hurts a bit. Oh. Still, she also told you about that Virgilio guy, didn't she? You know him? Virgilio Armandio didn't net any results, but after digging deeper, we found another name. Timothy Mercury, branded traitor after killing a few White Knight, declared MIA. Seems like the guy knew how to hide himself. Timothy Mercury. Really cool guy, honestly. What are you gonna do? At the very least, seek him to thank him. It's the least I can do. Oh. Wait. I just realized something's off with the whole tech gold rush story. What would it be? Wouldn't all that tech be patented anyways? I get trying to crack it in the first place, but that would be true if the tech was patented in the first place. It isn't? Zaibatsu have been so paranoid about making the White Knights untouchable that they never patented anything. A patent would be in a database that someone could hack and retrieve valuable info from. Not to mention they've been using tech from other companies without any authorization. So, can't really patent stolen hardware, you know? No patent registry in their right mind would approve of that global shutdown signal. Let alone how it immobilized everyone still inside one of those suits. So the ones who are upholding the law did so using the suits that are by all means illegal? The irony runs deep, wouldn't you say? Why do it, though? When you have so much money, you start thinking you can screw around with the rules. All that power makes you think you're above every law there is. And this city's what happens when those with money start making the rules. I'm curious, though, have you ever covered up any fuck-ups by using money? I think we've all done things we're not too proud of at some point of our lives. Well, Joe, I gotta go. Always a pleasure. Please come again. Alrighty, Chad, so we're gonna get our special guest probably now or after Alma here, who's our next guest. But once we're done with that special guest, I will cut in the video and we'll come back and we'll get the right order from Stella, and then I'll We could play through almost thing again, why not? We've had really short episodes thus far, so we'll make it a little long here. There we go. A different breed of cat achievement. Serving certain drink to one cat might bring another cat to the bar. Excuse me, is this the Rad Sheba bar? Hello? Somebody fell for that one. Thanks, Jill. Yeah, but we prefer to call it Valhalla. What can I get you? Let's try the Sugar Rush. Certainly. 1 Adelaide, 2 Batter Delta? Yeah, 2 Adelaide, and 2 Batter Delta. Optional Karma Train, all mixed. There we go. Here. Thanks. You don't look like you're from around here, miss. Call me Jess. I'm from Nero, San Francisco, actually. I came here to see the Mega Christmas I hear so much about. I love her. Jess is one of my favorite characters from the game she's from. I'll talk more about this probably later at the end of the episode, if I don't want to save it for Tuesday's episode. I've always wondered why it's called Neo San Francisco. Is it like Neo Tijuana, or is it more like New Mexico? Wait, there's a New Mexico? Says Jess. Still, that's a good question. What tipped you off that I'm not from around here? The fact that you're a hybrid. Really? I thought Glitch City was the world's genetic engineering mecca. Every time you hear about a breakthrough in genetic engineering, it most likely came from here. That's true. That's all true, if you have the money. Glitch City has some awesome advances, but many of them are gated behind giant walls of cash, like genetic modifications or prosthetics. Is it really that bad? Let's say I wanted a treatment to change my hair color to yellow and my eyes to amber. Simple stuff, 2 shots. But just for the hair, I'd need to save minimum wage paychecks for 10 years. Not only that, insurers still refuse to cover genetic modifications, even the medical ones. Weird. I mean, nowadays genetic modifications are pretty common everywhere else. I don't understand much about it myself. I think the exorbitant import fees levied by the city are a deciding factor in the whole pricing situation. Or maybe it has to do with how devaluated our currency is. Or maybe it's both those things and then some. I see. Oh, but look at me rambling. Can I get you anything else? Let's try the Brantini. Sure, Brantini. Alrighty, 6 Adelaide, all aged. I fucked it up immediately. Alright, here. Thanks. It's interesting though, hybrids are well received around here. Might have something to do with hybrids usually having lots of money. I guess it could be an example of the higher classes establishing beauty standards or something. It'll make me a more likely target for mugging then. Everyone is a likely target for mugging. You just stick out a bit more than the rest, says Jill. You do well to remain vigilant anyways. Thanks for the advice, says Jess. Hey, mind if I ask something? Go ahead, no problem. Are cat boomers hybrids? Nah, I don't think so. While there is genetic modification going on, it's more akin to being born with 6 fingers. The side effect of a treatment, if you will. Really? Because there seem to be countries where cat boomers are considered hybrids. True, but think about it for a second. Let's say you got a treatment for a skin condition and the side effect was getting scaly skin. There's hybrids with scales of skin, but your skin is a side effect. The scales might just be dead skin. Even if legally the scaly skin could make you a hybrid, you're not one necessarily. Even if it's a law, laws can be wrong sometimes. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about asking so many things. Oh, I don't mind. I guess you really don't see many hybrids around here, huh? Oh, right. Could you give me directions to the Artemis Will Mall? Sure, let me grab a piece of paper. Let's see. Turn right. When you see a frat house. There you are. Thanks a lot. Goodbye. Please come again. All done? I am. What about you, Gil? But we're not all done. Gillian's not done, and he's gonna send us back in time. Woo! See you guys in just a second. Alrighty, guys, we are back. We are listening to Those Who Dwell in Shadows. I gave all of Stella's drinks, changed the TV, and we are now back at the classic option. So we're going to continue from here to get the classic dialogues, and not a lot might change, but I'm going to read over it a little bit, and then we're going to go have Alma's moment here, because she has an order today as well. All right, classic drinks. Ooh, let's see. I could do a frothy water, but let's do a beer, because I always like having fun with beers. All right, nothing different, just the 2, 4, 2, 4, and 8. Alrighty, classic. This should actually give us 800? Yeah, nice, because it's a big one. Here. Thank you. I think you should know about this. The eye thing, okay, yeah. Still, that was quite, I mean, damn. We all have our own share of painful stories. I might be just shocked hearing something from you. I've gotten over it, but every time someone brings attention to my eye, it starts hurting. The tech and the replacement is good enough, but remembering it hurts a bit. Excuse me. Oh. Still, she also told you about that Virgilio guy, didn't she? You know him? Virgilio Armandio didn't net any results, but after digging deeper, we found another name. Timothy Mercury, branded traitor after killing a fellow White Knight, declared MIA. Seems like the guy knew how to hide himself. What are you gonna do? At the very least, seek him to thank him. It's the least I can do. Oh. Wait. I just realized something's off the whole tech gold rush story. What would it be? Would all that tech be patented anyways? Well, it would be if Zaibatsu Corp wasn't a bad place to work and wasn't stealing stuff. The irony runs deep, wouldn't you say? Well, Jill, I gotta go. Always a pleasure. Please come again. Ah, Alma. No hello? You're pretty insistent on that one, aren't you? It's basic courtesy, something I will fight to uphold. This is Alma. Let's get some wrestling going up here. Nice. First the greeting stop, then saying please and thanks stops, and before you know it, boom, total anarchy. You're exaggerating. I'm not. In fact, I'll go through that door again, and I expect you to properly greet me this time. Fine. Hello, Jill. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. You overdid it. You totally overdid it. Quoth the bartender, I did not. So you like poetry? I had a phase, says Jill. Can I get you something? Let's start with a big cobalt velvet. Sure, a big cobalt velvet for Alma. All on the rocks and mixed. 4 Adelhide, 6 Flanergide, and 10 Garmatrine. It's like champagne served in a cup that had a bit of coal left in it. Here. Thanks. Oh yeah, there's something I've been wondering about for a while. Does the name Shadowmaster 69's Chronicles ring any bells? Wow, you went pale. No, the name doesn't ring any bells. May 22nd. Today my daily card readings told me that I'd meet great change thanks to an old man. My biology teacher told me I had been picked for an inter-school contest with my latest essay. I just knew a scientific theory on the idea of auras was as revolutionary as I thought. Soon I'll bring the world into the occult science singularity. Later entries don't seem to have gone that well, though. Mentions of being laughed at, being lectured on why the essay was wrong. Jill, I made sure to delete that blog and no evidence should be left! I can think of at least 6 different sources off the top of my head that all have all that stuff archived. Why? Why? Sheesh, relax, it's not that bad. What do you mean it's not that bad? Don't you realize how embarrassing it all is? We've all been young, Jill, relax. It's not like you're still like that nowadays. That would have been embarrassing. You're not still like that, right? Gods no, I gave up on the whole occult stuff. It's just that remembering all that stuff is... I don't know, I like the way you looked. All dressed in black with the rare accessory popping out thanks to the colors. I mean, at least you had the decency to use makeup and take care of yourself. So you have a pic. Oh god, you have a fucking picture. Why do you do this to me? Why do you dig out the sins of my past, Alma? I was bored. Last Friday I had to take my mind off the whole Diana thing, so I ran a small background check on you. Simple stuff, really. Just checking past internet activity. Please don't run background checks on your friends like that. I just used a search engine, you know? I didn't request documents or anything. What led you to the page? You do realize your main mail account everywhere is still the one you used back then, right? Like I said, relax. You're obsessed with occultism. I wanted to kiss all the boys. And I kinda almost accomplished that in middle school, which still sorta haunts me today. Never underestimate the lengths old classmates will go to track you down. Especially if they think you're still the girl to kiss them for fun and they are lonely to boot. We all have things we're not too proud of as adults. Now I know how criminals feel when evidence is used against them. I have to ask though, why the 69? It was supposed to be 6'9", not 69, like in reference to both the lovers and the hermit. I was convinced it meant wise choices. Jill, there's nobody who would read that as 6'9". I was 12 at the time. Even at 12, I fucking knew what a 69 was. Just how innocent were you back then? You have no idea. Well, let's sweeten up things a bit. I'll have a sugar rush. Sure. 4 Adelhyde, 2 Powder Delta, and a ton of Carmetrine. A sugar rush? Are they trending now or something? Because we've served like 4 in the past day or something. And I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs barking, but I apologize. I don't really need to apologize for them, but I'm apologizing for the fact that I'm like, I wish I could like make it so they didn't appear in the recording. But it's fine. Worst comes to worst, I'll do audio editing anyways, and it won't actually show up. But you never know. I gotta apologize for it anyways, because my brain says I should do. Here, says Joe. This is the thing. Say, Alma, speaking of the past, what was your last long-term relationship like? That's sudden. You dug through my past, I've earned the right to dig through yours. Fine, fine. Long-lasting relationships, huh? Romantic ones, I'm guessing. Yep. Well, I've had about 4 boyfriends who I describe as such, that I've introduced to my family and all. The first one was in high school. I broke up with him because he cheated on me. I remember the other girl trying to pick a fight and me just saying, keep the fucker. The second one was during my freshman year. I broke up with him after he thought it'd be funny to punch me in the arm. He starts with a friendly hit, and before you know it... Anyways, the other guy I met shortly after I dropped out. He was interested in marriage, but he wanted to get married after only half a year or so of knowing him. And then there's Richard. Who? I spent almost 4 years with him. We got along pretty well. We had awesome chemistry. I truly loved him. But as time went by, there was a rift that started separating us. He just didn't like my family. He didn't? Moreover, he wasn't a family person. He distanced himself from his own family and voiced that he didn't want kids. There was a part of me that wanted to believe, even if for just a little bit, that maybe to change it. That wow. Let me read that again. There's a part of me that wanted to believe, even if just for a little bit, that maybe he'd change his mind. But as much as I loved him, that one detail brought a growing gap between us. Words are hard, holy crap. And at one point, I just had to break up with him. But I'm not here to depress you. Bring me a beer, will you? Sure, let's get her a beer. Thanks for telling me that, by the way. Don't mention it. Okay, one more question and we're even. Wow, you really are embarrassed of that blog, huh? Sure, ask away. At what age did you get those implants in your boobs? Jill, I love you, and I know you're saying that in jest, but I've lived through so many rumors about me getting plastic surgery that I can't and won't take it as a joke. As such, in honoring our friendship, I'll just say this. They're real, and they're spectacular. Now ask the real question before I slap you. I'll grant you one and only one chance to call me by my full name as a compensation then. I gladly take your offer. It's funny that you mentioned slapping, because my real question was, why did you get your hands chopped? Chopped. Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first is that I spend lots of time typing, and these replacements help me avoid carpal tunnel syndrome. Oh. There's other utilities, like how I can interface with many devices. For example, there's a tiny computer embedded in my glasses. If I move my index finger, it acts like a computer's cursor. There's lots more, but there are small things that don't sound that impressive when I say it out loud. How did your family take the operation? They took it well enough, except for my mom. She freaked out for months. She even went to the hospital to ask for my hands. Don't you miss them? Sometimes, but just during emotional moments. But as luck would have it, someone else has them. Shortly before my operation, there was an accident on the highway. One of the victims was this young lady whose right hand got completely crushed. I told them to check if we were compatible and all that. I mean, implants are not everyone's first choice if they can get a natural replacement. A bit of cosmetic treatment and it could pass off as her original hand with no problem. Last I heard, we were compatible and the family agreed to the donation. I don't know what became of her, but I hope she's fine. And you didn't tell your mom about that? I didn't want her pestering the poor girl. So are we cool now? Are we even now? Are we? You were pretty pissed about my comment regarding your boobs. Again, I'm sorry. It sounded a lot less rude in my head. Yeah, don't worry about that. Besides, I get to call you Gillian once. Now you don't. Why? You just called me by my full name. Are you serious? One chance and only one chance, and you just used it up. Damn it. Surprise, says Anna. Hey, Alma, this might be a weird tangent, but do you believe in ghosts? Hey, says Anna. Not particularly, no, says Alma. I say, okay, one of the weird things is I say her name weird. She is Hispanic, and her name is Alma, as in love in Spanish. But for whatever reason, I say Alma. I kind of reduce the accent a little bit. I don't know why I do. It's really weird that I do that. I don't. It's for whatever reason. It just feels. It just comes out as English. I don't know why. I don't put any of my accent in it, and it's just weird that that's coming into my brain now because I realize I say Anna. Hard. It's kind of hard because Dana, Anna, Alma in my brain, and I have to separate all those and keep them consistent with their different accents and how I say their names right. And so I'm thinking about that right now. So I had to get that out there into the world. So yeah, that's the reason why that it's like that. Anyways. There was this paper I read once that was quite interesting. Says Joel. It proposed a scenario where nanomachine clusters would leave the body after death, and then act as a collective hive mind through residual brainwaves. The result would basically be an image not unlike a hologram. Of course, the hypotheses fell through because such nanomachine density is impossible in a body. Excuse me. Even 5% of the amount needed is enough to make the blood too dense for the heart. And it's not like brainwaves are potent enough to create those reactions. It's still an interesting read, though. I see. Oh, don't give me that look. It's not my fault that you convince yourself that you're crazy. Sana. Well, I'll leave then. See you tomorrow. See ya. All done? Asked Dana. I am. What about you, Gil? For some reason, the idle girl left him like that, it seems. You think? Might have been while he was out. True. Hey, boss, you're a fan of wrestling, aren't you? I mean, you were a wrestler, so... Bet I am. Yeah, why? I was wondering, isn't wrestling fake? Aren't twin tails for little girls and teens with 8th grade syndrome? Says Dana. 8th grade what? When you get down to it, wrestling is as real as a soap opera. I mean, you don't really expect a legal lawsuit to be fixed in a ring, right? Sure, in my ideal world, you would solve legal problems through good old wrestling, but... No, seriously, 8th grade what? What do you don't go around calling soap operas fake? It's a show. It just so happens to use fights as an expression. You might as well see it as a unique form of theater. Besides, considering the injuries many wrestlers suffer, it's not all fake. I didn't think about it that way. Sadly, I won't stand for anyone bad-mouthing wrestling, so now I have to go and break Gil's back to make you humble. Oh well, wait, what? Come here, fuck boy! Fuck boy! 8th grade, what? Says Jill finally. I love it. I love calling Gil a fuckboy. It's so much fun. Alrighty, chat. Total earnings, $44,070. Drinks total, $3,440. 0 mistakes, except for the one that got us the secret ending. Or the secret character, I should say. 0 mistakes, commission of 30% for $1,032. Heck yeah. Tips of, wow, $1,250. We're rich, chat. Flawless service bonus of $500. Dana says, who would have thought we'd get a bona fide idol in the bar for $300? And today's total transfer of $3,082 for a total funds of $15,616 Dimmery dollars. I love it. You were charged with $10,000 for your rent. Have a nice day. Jill will have a roof over her head for another month. This sense of relief will make sure she focuses at work. Have a very nice day. Jill says, we have a roof over our heads for another month. Forrest says, yay! Delightful. Well, chat, that is it for today's episode. I want to thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoy all the stuff we do here and having a fun time. Just enjoying this series. We have 2 more days in the game, I think. Pretty sure, maybe. Not sure. We might have 1 more day. I'm not actually sure. I could be wrong. But we'll see how things go. If we do have 1 more day, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. If we have 2 more days, I will see you guys in 2 more days for the finale. Of course, we'll have another episode tomorrow. But yeah, that's it. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get yourselves some nice drinks. And as always, remember, it's never goodbye. Just see you all later.